here is your day 2 classwork. It's titled Pizza for Everyone. So everyone make sure that you have this yellow piece of paper. But if you look at the top of my paper, I copied down the area of a sector because I'm going to need to know that formula for this worksheet. Remember, it's the central angle divided by 360 degrees times that pi r squared, which pi r squared is the area of a circle. So basically, the reason we have this fraction is because we only want the area of a fraction of our circle, not the whole area, which is this right here. So by multiplying by this fraction, we just get that small area that we want, that piece. So number 1 says, a 12-inch pizza is cut into 8 slices. You eat 1 slice of pizza. How many square inches of pizza did you eat? Show your work. Round your answer to the nearest tenth. So right now I want all of you to pause this video, and I want you on your own to draw a picture of what you think is happening in the problem. It might be helpful to remember that there are 360 degrees in a circle. So pause this and draw your circle. All right, so hopefully all of you drew your circle now. So I'm gonna go over how I would draw mine. So I have a pizza. So I'm gonna have this circle right here. It's a little crooked, but that's okay. And my pizza's cut into 8 slices. So I'm gonna draw my pizza to where it's cut into 8 different slices. And it's a 12-inch pizza. So in case you didn't know, the 12 inches comes from this right here, because that's the diameter. That's how they measure pizzas. So this is a 12-inch pizza in total, and we only want the radius. Remember that the radius only goes from the center to out here. And so our radius is actually going to equal 6, because our diameter is 12, radius is 6. So I know that right away. Now, hopefully you were able to figure out the angle measurement of each one. Remember I said that there's 360 degrees in a circle. And so the way that we find how many degrees are on each slice is you get out a calculator, and we know there's 8 slices in our pizza. So we're going to do 360 divided by 8 on our calculator. And I got 45. So that means every single slice of my pizza right here has a central angle of 45 degrees. Now I think in my last little part that I was talking about when I gave you the formula the first time, I don't think I talked about what a central angle is. And so the central angle is the angle made by the center of the circle. So like right here, we have a central angle right there. So that's what we're going to be working with. So I only wrote it right here, but just know that this piece is 45 and this one's 45, 45, 45, 45, and right here is 45, because they all add up to be 360 degrees. Now I want to find the square inches of pizza that I ate. So let's say that I ate this piece of pizza over here. So I want to find the area of the pizza that I ate. I am just going to use this formula in the corner that I have. So plugging everything in that I know my central angle is 45 degrees. So I'm going to have 45 divided by 360, just because that's the first part of our formula. And I'm going to multiply that by the area of the whole circle. So remember, area of a whole circle is pi r squared. So I'm going to have pi r, what was r again? R was this 6 right here. So pi r squared. Hopefully you remember that 6 squared is 36, right? Because 6 times 6. So we're going to have times 36 pi. Now you just take your calculator and plug it in. I'll show you how to do that right here. So I'm going to put parentheses 45 divided by 360, because that represents this fraction right here. And then I'm going to multiply by 36 pi. So to do that, I'm going to do times 36 pi. Press enter, and I find that the area of the piece of pizza that I ate, so this one right here, is 14.14 inches squared. It actually says to round to the nearest tenth, and I went to the nearest hundredth, so you could have written 14.1 inches squared. Hopefully you got that. If you didn't, that's okay, because the next one is really similar. So I want you to pause the video and look at number 2, and I want you to work on number 2 by yourself for about 3 or 4 minutes. Ready, go. All right, hopefully you were able to pause the video and do number 2. And I'm going to show you how to do it in case you didn't understand or if you want to check your work. So it says, a pizza shop sells pizza by the slice. They make 2 different sizes of pizza, a 14-inch pizza, which they cut into 60-degree slices, and a 16-inch pizza, which they cut into 45-degree slices. They sell a slice of each one for the same price. Which is a better deal? Show your work. So the key phrase is which is a better deal, because we want to see which pizza place, which pizza gives you more area for one slice. So we need to use that area of a sector formula for the 14-inch pizza and for our 16-inch pizza. So, if I have a 14-inch pizza, that means this right here is 14 inches long. But we don't have this diameter in our equation. We need a radius. So the diameter equals 14, so half of that for our radius is going to equal 7. This is for the 14-inch pizza. All right. So let's find the area of one slice of pizza from our 14-inch pizza. The first thing that we need to figure out, well, I guess we don't really need to figure it out, but just know that it says that it's cut into 60-degree slices, and so that would mean we do 360 divided by 60. So this pizza, 14-inch pizza, is going to have 6 slices in it. I didn't really draw this to have 6 slices. There we go. Okay, they're not even. Pretend they are. And our central angle is 60 degrees. So we go back to that formula. Hopefully you're starting to memorize it, but it's the central angle over 360 times pi r squared. So what's my central angle for number 2? 60 degrees. Divided by 360, because that's how many degrees are in a whole circle. I'm going to multiply by pi r squared. R stands for radius. We found the radius over here, which is 7 squared. So let's simplify this a little further. So 7 squared is 49, because 7 times 7 is 49, times pi. Now you just get your calculator. There you go, you can see that. So I'm going to do 60 divided by 360 times 49 times pi. And when I do that, I get 25.7 about, if we round up. So this 14-inch pizza that we just calculated the area of one slice for has 25.7 inches squared of pizza in it. So now we are going to calculate the area of one of the slices in this 16-inch pizza, and we're going to see if one single slice of pizza is bigger in our 14-inch pizza or in our 16-inch pizza. So, first of all, I'm going to draw my circle. It just helps me visualize what's going on. And this one's cut into 45-degree slices. So that means in total, I'm going to have 8 slices in my pizza. So I can quickly draw that. Now, it's a 16-inch pizza, so that means this whole line across, or any of the lines across, are 16 inches long. But we don't want the whole diameter of the pizza, we want the radius of the pizza. So 16 cut in half, because we want this half, is 8. So our radius for this problem is going to equal 8. And it gives us that the central angle is 45 degrees. So we can put that right there. Now we're just going to use our area of a sector equation again, which is our central angle. And for this problem, that central angle is 45. Divided by 360 times the area of our whole circle. So that's going to be times pi r squared, and our r is 8 squared. And now, hopefully you remember, 8 times 8 is 64, I think. Man, now I can't remember what 8 times 8 is. Yeah, 64. So I have 64 pi. I go to my calculator and I'm just gonna type what I have like right here in. So I do 45, let's do parentheses first. 45 divided by 360, I close my parentheses and I multiply by 64 times pi. Oops. And I'm gonna get 25.1. So I have 25.1 inches squared of pizza in this is my 16-inch pizza. So I want you to turn to your partner and tell them which slice is a better deal. If you loved pizza, would you want a slice from the 14-inch pizza or would you want a slice from the 16-inch pizza? Talk to your neighbor. Ready, go. You have 30 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So, hopefully, if you love pizza, you would want to get a piece of pizza from our 14-inch pizza, because since the area of one slice is 25.7, that's bigger than 25.1. So by buying a slice from our 14-inch pizza, you're getting more. So the actual answer, the better deal, you could write it, we'll put it right here. Better deal is the 14-inch pizza. All right, so probably now when you think you're just catching on, the problems are getting harder. So we still are going to use that same formula we've been using, but instead of finding the area this time, we are going to find the angle that's cut. So what that means is we are going to use this formula up here again, but instead of getting it to equal the area of a sector, we're going to know what the area of the sector is, and we're going to put in an x for the central angle, and we're going to have to solve for x. So let's take this slowly. If that didn't make sense, hang in there. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So it says that you eat 2 slices of a 14-inch pizza, which total 34 square inches. At what angle were the pizza slices cut? Show your work, round your answer to the nearest whole number. So go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to try and work on number 3 by yourself for about 3 minutes. And after that, I'll show you how to do it. So pause it now. Okay, hopefully you're able to get a start on number 3, but let's talk about it. So the part that probably is confusing is that it says you eat 2 slices. Now, for this to work, we need to think about what happens if you only eat 1 slice of a 14-inch pizza. So if 2 slices are 34 square inches, that means that 1 slice is going to equal how many square inches? Hopefully you said 17 square inches. Because 34 divided by 2 is 17. So 17 square inches for 1 slice. Now, we're given that it's a 14-inch pizza. So remember, if we draw our circle, that means this line all the way across is 14 inches. But we don't want that whole diameter. We want half of it. So we only want like this part over here. And half of 14 is just 7. So our radius is going to equal 7. Now we have all of the information that we need to plug into that equation that we all know and love by now, to find the central angle that these pieces were cut at. So let's plug some things in. So remember, normally we have our central angle, but we don't know what that is right now. So we're going to put x over 360, and then we need to multiply by the whole area of the pizza. So we're going to multiply by pi r squared, and in this case, our r is 7. So pi times 7 squared. And the part that we haven't been doing is we know that this is going to be equal to 17 inches squared, or 17, because one slice, the area of one slice was 17 square inches, and so that's why we put the 17 right there. Now you see that we have this equation set up, and we simply, well, maybe it's not that simple, but we need to solve for x. So let's look at how to do that. First, hopefully you remember how to multiply fractions, but it's almost like this is over 1, and you multiply fractions straight across. So I'm going to rewrite the problem down here. Well, let's simplify this part really fast. 7 squared is 49, so I'm going to cross that out and put 49 up here. So we have x times pi times 49, or x times 49 pi. So that's just going to be 49 pi times x over 360 times 1 is just 360 equals 17. Now we need to solve for x. So maybe you remember what multiplying by a reciprocal means. But the reciprocal is just like the flipped fraction. And what multiplying by the reciprocal does is cancel it out so that we get our x by itself. So the reciprocal of 49 pi over 360 is 360 over 49 pi. Now when we do that, this cancels with that cancels with this, but what we multiply on one side, we have to do to our other side. So over here, we're going to have 360 over 49 pi. Let's rewrite this guy over here so that it's not as confusing. So once we cross all those out, we have x is equal to 17 times 360 over 49 pi. This is when you'll want a calculator. You're going to do parentheses 17 times 360, and put divided by 49 times pi. And I type that in, I get 39.8. So that means that my central angle, so going back over here, like if we had one slice, that means my central angle right here is equal to 39.8 degrees. If you wanted to check your answer and see if it worked, you would take this 39.8 and plug it in for x and go through and solve the steps and see if you get 17 out. I'm not going to do that because I'm not going to, but you should check your answers. Let's move on to number 4. We're almost done, so hang in there. Number 4 is going to be really similar to number 3, but instead of solving for the central angle this time, we're actually going to solve for the radius. So go ahead and pause pause the video and work on number 4 for the next few minutes. Ready, set, pause. Okay, now that you had the opportunity to work on number 4 by yourself, let's look at it. It says you are making a pizza for 10 friends. You want each friend to have a 25 square inch slice of pizza. How big of a pizza do you need to make? Show your work, round your answer to the nearest whole number. So the first thing that I think of when I look at this right now is that I know that my area of one piece, so the area of one piece is equal to 25 inches squared, because that's given to us right here in the problem. The other thing that I look at and that I know right away is that I'm making pizza for 10 friends. So it doesn't say here, but I'm guessing that they just want one piece for each friend. So I'm going to draw my circle and I'm going to split it up into 10 different pieces, probably not very evenly, so hang in there. It's kind of hard to split pizza into 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no. 9. Hold on, we're gonna start this over. Hopefully you're better at drawing pizzas than I am. So I draw a pizza and I want it into 10 slices. So these aren't gonna be even slices, but pretend they are. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So who remembers how many degrees are in a circle? Hopefully you're all shouting out 360 at the top of your lungs. Well, not the top of your lungs, but with enthusiasm. So I have 10 pieces and I know that circles equal 360 degrees. So that means each angle of my pizza right now is going to be 360 degrees divided by 10, because that's how many pieces I have. So 36. So my central angle for this is going to equal 36. So let's write that up here. Central angle, that weird symbol is an angle symbol, equals 36 degrees. Now, I think I know everything that I need to plug this information into our formula and solve for our radius. So remember that the area of a sector is equal to, up here, our central angle divided by 360 times pi r squared. So let's look down here. So I'm going to have my area of a sector. So I wrote that right here. So I'm going to have 25 is equal to my central angle, which is 36 for this problem, divided by 360, because remember you always divide by the total amount of degrees in the circle. And we're going to multiply by pi times radius squared. Remember, we don't know what radius is yet, so that is what we're going to be solving for. Now, something that you may not know is, well, like, you probably know this. With multiplication, 4 times 5 is equal to 20, just like 5 times 4 is equal to 20. It doesn't matter what order you do it in. And that's going to be the same case over here. So I'm actually going to rewrite my problem like this, 36 pi over 360 times r squared. It's just like if you did 4 times 5 instead of 5 times 4. That's all we did there. So I moved my pi over here instead of keeping it with my r. Now, I want to get my r squared by itself. Hopefully you remember from number 3 that when you have a fraction, you can multiply by the reciprocal on both sides to get this left over by itself. So the reciprocal of 36 pi over 360 is 360 over 36 pi. So I'm going to multiply that by both sides. Now, this is going to cancel with that. That's going to cancel with that. So I'm left with 360 over 36 pi times 25 is equal to r squared. So get your calculator out. We're going to type this in right here. So I have 360 divided by 36 pi times 25. So I got a really big number, 0.4. This is a big number. I might have done this wrong. Hold on. Let me try it a different way. So if I did 360 times 25, I get that, and I divide by 36 times pi. Oh, there we go. It should be 79.6 about equals r squared. So don't make the same mistake I did. You also could have typed it into your calculator like this. You could have done 360 divided by parentheses 36 times pi. Pressed enter, and then you still have to multiply by that 25, and you get the 79.6. Okay. So, this is not our radius because this is equal to r squared. We don't want r squared, we just want r. So remember that to undo exponents, we can take the square root of both sides. And when I take the square root of 79.6, I get 8.92. It says to round to the nearest whole number, so 8.9 rounds up to 9. So I get that r equals 9. Right over here. Now, this isn't the answer. R equals 9 is not the answer because it wants us to know how big of a pizza we make. Remember, right now, with r equals 9, we're just saying that this right here is 9. But that's only part of our pizza. We need the whole stretch of it. So this side is 9 too, right? Because radius is cut in half. So 9 plus 9 is 18. So you need an 18-inch pizza to make sure that all 10 of your friends get the 25 square inch slice. So that is number 4. Let's flip it over and go to number 5. I'm not going to have you pause it for this one. So let's look at number 5 really fast. Given that I tell you that you have a D-inch pizza cut into n degree slices, what would be the formula for the area of a slice? So it's saying we have like a pizza, and this whole thing across is D. And one slice has n degrees. Now we're just going to write a general formula. So remember, we want our central angle. So in this case, it's n degrees over 360 times our area of the whole circle, pi r squared. But right now this is d, so to write it as d, it'd be d over 2 squared. And it's d over 2 because remember, we don't want this whole thing, we want half of it. So half would be d over 2. So n over 360 times pi d over 2 squared, or r squared. So that is how we find the area of a sector with degrees. You're going to have time to do your homework now in class if you made it through this whole video. Now, there are a few things that I need to teach you about the homework because on this piece of paper with the Pizza for Everyone problems, everything was in degrees. But with circles, we also can represent these central angles in something that's called radians. So I'm going to teach you how to do that for your homework. But hopefully you understand and that you're loving math and that this video is helping you. So tune in to the next video. Thanks.